The thing tying these two films that come up at number 11 on the Best in Horror Countdown 2020 is that it stars kids doing horrible things to each other. Intrigued? Let's talk about it. Welcome to the official Best in Horror 2019-2020 countdown on ML Miller Frights, a part of the Kings of Horror Network. I'm ML Miller. Be sure to give this video a like, share it with your buddies across the electronic superhighway, click subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you're in the Chicago area and love horror, you've no excuse not to head out to the Chi-Town Movies Drive-In for the Music Box of Horrors. Every night in October, for 31 nights, there will be late shows, Sunday through Thursday, and double features every Friday and Saturday night. Every weekend is themed, Grindhouse Fridays, Rip-Off Saturdays, and Sequel Sundays. Tonight they're playing Dead of Night, which is a 1945 classic that still is scary to this day. Look below for a link to the schedule, where to get tickets, and directions to this awesome horror event. Coming in at number 11 is Harpoon. It was released on October 8th, 2019. It's available on digital download and on demand from Dread Pictures and Epic Pictures Group. It's also streaming on Shudder. Directed by Rob Grant and written by Grant and Mike Kovac, Harpoon is a film that's set on one location, and I love this type of film. The more the cast and crew are limited in terms of space and budget sometimes leads to highly creative and entertaining art. This is the case with Rob Grant's Harpoon, which focuses on the complexities of relationships and adds a heavy dose of conflict, violence, deception, gore, and humor. Richard, played by Christopher Gray, and Sasha, played by Emily Tyra, have been dating for a while, though their relationship is tumultuous to say the least. In the middle of this pair is Jonah, Monroe Chambers, who is best friends to both of them. Richard is prone to fits of jealous rage when it comes to all things Sasha, with Jonah often playing the referee between the two in order to keep the peace. When plans for a surprise birthday party result in Richard believing Jonah and Sasha are having an affair, Richard freaks out. Once he comes to his senses, Richard tries to make amends and takes the three of them out on an afternoon boat trip on his daddy's boat. Once in the middle of the ocean, suspicions again arise, leaving the three kids trapped and adrift in the middle of the ocean with no hope for recovery in sight. Basically, Harpoon sets up three heavily flawed characters and traps them in a dire situation with no chance of escape. Either they kill each other, the elements kill them, or they work out their issues and work together to survive. Filmmaker Rob Grant does a fantastic job of establishing the characters of Richard, Sasha, and Jonah, giving them flaring faults as well as a few likable traits. Throughout the story, you love and loathe these characters. A lot of that has to do with the way the information is doled out. It's done with a careful hand that shows Grant's skill in making resonant characters worth caring about. It also says a lot about these three young actors. I haven't seen any of them on screen before, but all three do a great job with the material. Emily Tyra's Sasha is beautiful, and one can understand why these guys love her, but she isn't afraid to get down and dirty, and even holds her own in banter between these two guys whose relationship goes back to childhood. Richard could have been played as a simple dumb jock / rich kid, but Christopher Gray gives his character nuances that make it hard to loathe him in the situation he finds himself in. Finally, Monroe Chambers, Jonah, plays the part of the middleman to a T, always aiming to please everyone and never really doing it. Seeing these three extreme and developed personalities tear into one another and fall in and out and back into love with one another is a masterful play of character and script. The tone of Harpoon is absolutely black. The humor is as sharp as the weapon the film is titled after. With the terrors of the deep all around them and no one in sight, the stage is set for all kinds of mayhem to happen. And it does. The fun part is that these three characters love one another, but then again they hate each other too. They've been around each other for so long that it makes a bond that cannot be broken, even when they do horrifying things to one another. Filmmaker Rob Grant has set up a fantastic row of dominoes, and seeing his thumb flick the first one and letting those tiles fall is the stuff that honors screenwriters like Hitchcock and De Palma. Don't miss Harpoon. It's an unforgettable story of trapped friends, ultimate betrayals, and desperate measures. Another tale about the horrors of callous friendship is Game of Death. It was released on July 14th, 2020. It's available on digital download and on demand from Cleopatra Entertainment. Game of Death was directed by Sebastian Landry and Lawrence Moraes Legacy. It was also written by Landry and Legacy, as well as Edward H. Bond and Philip Kalin Hadju. A group of spoiled rich kids gathered to do nothing at one of their houses but swim in the pool, drink alcohol, do drugs, have sex, and basically do any kind of hedonistic thing they want since their parents are nowhere to be found. Rifling through an old closet rewards the group with an old game that looks like a twisted version of the old Simon light-up game. After the 6 of them place their fingers on the board, it stabs them and draws their blood, sealing an oath to begin the game. Now, as every 20 minutes pass, the group has to kill someone or be killed themselves until the death toll counter set at 24 goes down to 0. Not taking it seriously, the kids laugh it off, but when one of their heads explodes all over them, they realize they have to either go on a murder spree or decorate the walls with their own brains. What makes Game of Death work is how callous the kids are once they realize that in order to survive, all they have to do is kill 24 people. Sure, some of them are in shock, but the way the kids detach themselves so quickly from society's morals really ends up being a fascinating statement about the millennial generation. Almost unfazed is the de facto leader of the group, Tom, played by Sam Earle, who understands the rules of the game and has the homicidal tendencies to play them out. The cast is filled with great performances from young actors who most likely will be big names someday, but Earle stands out as he is the most heartless and more than willing to blow away anyone in his path. Co-directors Sebastian Landry and Lawrence Moraes Legacy have a wicked sense of humor, highlighting the decadent lifestyles of the kids, their shallow personalities, and their reckless disregard for how much they can hurt others. It's a wonderfully vivid, yet sad commentary on the new millennial culture, which feels as if they know better than how to follow rules, rush to action, and often throw caution to the wind. I feel like an old man saying that, as all youthful generations seem reckless to their elders, but I think it's especially relevant in the current state of the world we inhabit. Like much horror, Game of Death uses intense gore to communicate its point. Most of the cast is covered in blood and brains for the entirety of the movie. The kids don't even think to wash themselves off, and almost seem to wear the splatter as a Medal of Honor by the end. Game of Death never fails to be entertaining from beginning to end, reveling in the gore and high body count, and ending on a note that suggests much more mayhem to come. Though some pretty heavy themes could be extracted from Game of Death, it's never boring or preachy. I highly recommend this resonant and balls-out gonzo little movie. It's got a ton to say about the latest and loudest generation, and offers up no dull moments to endure. That'll be it for today. Check back in tomorrow for my next pick on the countdown. Please chime in down in the comments and let me know what you think of these films, how on the nose or mind-numbingly wrong I am, or you can counter with your own list. If you like this video, please pound that thumbs up button. Share this video with your social media addicted pals. If you're looking for written reviews, you can find them on mlmillerwrites.com. That's where you can find the rest of this countdown as well. Don't forget I have 2 new horror comic book trade paperbacks that you should look for. Grave Trancers is out right now, and Pirouette, collecting never-before-published issues, will be out in late November, early December, Diamond Order Code APR 201712. And be sure to subscribe to this channel, and ring that bell for notifications, so you can be the first to see my future videos. Thank you so much for your time, and take care.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. side.